Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pro Show. I'm your host, Erika, and today I'm joined by someone that I've been looking forward to chatting with, Chris Hardiman, who's been making serious moves in the lending and private capital space. Chris, I'm so glad that you're here today.
Hey, Erica. Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited as well.
So let's jump on in. So first off, for people who may not be familiar with your world, give us the rundown. How did you get started in the lending and private capital space?
Sure. Yeah, I can do that. I have been fortunate, well, fortunate or unfortunate, depending if you love mortgage banking. I have been exposed to this industry since I was very young, so really kind of just middle school into high school years. A very close mentor of mine remains a mentor, actually now a business partner. Actually started as a realtor, started a small mortgage brokerage, turned that into an independent mortgage bank, took it from one branch to licensed, across 48 states, branches in all 48 states, over 10,000 employees, all located here in Orlando, Florida. And I was fortunate enough to grow up in that. So when I left school, which was 2010, tough time to leave school, not a lot of people hiring for jobs around just exiting that financial crisis. I went and I worked in commercial debt resolution because there was a lot of commercial debt that needed to be resolved, worked out, restructured, personal guarantees that needed to be negotiated out of. So I did that for about 2 years until I had an opportunity to go work for that mentor, Doug, for a company called Prospect Mortgage out in Los Angeles. And I wasn't always on the origination side. I wasn't always on the sales side. So I started in the finance side of mortgage banking, and that was for Prospect out in LA in 2012.
Awesome. And tell us more about Fusion Home Loans. That is something exciting that you have going on in your world.
Yeah, so Fusion Home Loans is a brand new entity. It is not a broker. It is not a depository institution. It is an independent mortgage bank. So we are a retail direct lender, signed up with Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Ginnie Mae, so FHA, VA, USDA, all of the good conventional and government products. Of course, we also broker out a lot of the non-QM products as well, so we make sure that we have those available for all of our referral partners: the business bank statement loans, the DSCR, the foreign national, the asset utilization. But it's a brand new company. It's a company that we started a little over a month ago, so we're on day 40, 41 right now. And we knew it was important to come out as a direct lender day one as an IMB. So to do that, and to do that with strength, we partnered with an entity called Acrisure Mortgage. Acrisure Mortgage is owned by Acrisure, which is one of the largest insurance and fintech entities in the world.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
So they're in over 26 countries, 12,000 employees, over $5 billion in gross revenues. And that partnership with Acrisure enabled us to kind of come out the gate with a lot of the systems, the technologies, the investors, really the strength that we needed to ramp this thing up and get it running fast, so there wasn't any sort of interruption in business continuity for all of our referral partners, be it a realtor, a home builder, an attorney, a wealth manager. We just needed to keep this thing going for them.
That's exciting. And you yourself have had a lot of experience in this industry with lending and private capital being such a critical piece of real estate. What do you see as the biggest challenge for borrowers or investors trying to secure funding in today's market?
Yeah, I will tell you, my focus over the past couple years has really been drilled into residential mortgage banking. I don't think I've originated any private capital debt probably in excess of 2 to 3 years. So my finger isn't completely on the pulse there. So I'll address that more on like the residential mortgage banking side, so kind of the American consumer, right? And I'm going to sound like a broken record because it's much of what is always talked about when people address this is really affordability, right? Affordability is what certainly is the most difficult thing that the average American household is dealing with today. And people talk about interest rates, and it's a very common thing, especially for the older generation, where they're like, well, the kids these days, they're complaining about the 6 to 7% rates, but back in my day, our home, we had a 17% rate, we had a 16% rate, which is absolutely true. Don't get me wrong, it's true, but the home was 20% of what the value is at today. Groceries didn't cost what they cost. I mean, look at last week's CPI print. We've seen a 1% year over year increase in just energy cost, gas, right? So when you're talking about all of these other economic variables that are weighing into the expenses that go into just the American household every day, putting groceries on the table, putting fuel into your car, keeping a roof over your head, affordability is what most people are struggling with more than anything right now. Even if they can qualify to get the loan, the monthly payment is outside of where they just want to be to achieve all of their other financial goals.
Yeah. Chris, you mentioned earlier in your questionnaire that you're active in multiple real estate groups. Do you have any advice for people about how networking can be a game changer for sourcing capital or closing deals?
Yeah, I think it's everything. Networking is everything. Every single opportunity that I have been exposed to or been a part of has been a result of not just networking, but networking with intent, right? Which I think is a lot different than networking, right? And when I say networking with intent, I mean showing up and giving before you expect to receive, right? Like that I think is one of the most important things when it comes to networking is when you're meeting people, you constantly need to have in your mind.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
How can I help this person, right? Whether it's they have a need, how can I connect them to someone else in my network that can perhaps fit that need, do a good job, help build, someone that you would actually refer out because you would use them personally. So every single real estate deal that I've been a part of, I'm involved in 6 manufactured home trailer parks. I'm involved in 6 trailer parks that span between Orlando and Tampa. I have a commercial building with my partner that we got into because we 1031 to 16-door real estate portfolio. Out of that into this, it's all been solely because of the network that I've created, and I've poured into that network before an opportunity came out of it and came to me. I'm not involved in a single real estate opportunity right now that was an actively listed and sort of on the market opportunity, so to speak of.
Yeah. Yeah. Chris, every real estate expert has a moment where things got real. Maybe a deal went sideways or you had to pivot fast in the lending space. Do you have any moments like that you can share for our audience?
I don't have anything that has been, a terrible, just kind of like the world's come crashing down. I mean, 2008 was that. We're in a very different sort of real estate market now. The analogy is gruesome, but I think it's relevant, right? So I've heard that the financial crisis was like death by heart attack, right? Like boom, it just nailed you. You woke up one day and the music had just stopped. This market that we're in today, it's almost like death by cancer, right? Like it is just persistent. And we thought we were going to come out of this thing. We thought we were going to get to the other end of it, but we're just not there. And when you look at these forecasts of, when we're actually going to see an ease in interest rates, when these things, I don't think that certainly the strong markets, this isn't a general statement about the entire US real estate market, but I think that we're not going to see a huge reverse in valuation in 95% of the markets within the United States. I just think we're in for a lot more pain, right? I don't know. I don't think the rest of this year is going to be fun at all. And I don't think the first 2 quarters of 2026 are going to be fun either. So I don't have, a really horrible war story of something that just slammed down on me and I had to pivot. But right now, every single day, we're waking up and we're thinking about how we can pivot in that day to really kind of capitalize on the market that we're in today, because it's not a fun market to be in.
Well, what kind of advice would you give to people out there navigating this market? What should they do first?
Work. I see, and I get it. Like everyone has to pay their bills, right? So if you're in a commissioned based role and just purely the volume isn't there, so they're digging a debt hole, they're not doing what they're able to do to just make ends meets, and they have to re-career. I mean, that's one thing. I do understand that, but don't have a foot in both worlds, right? I mean, if you're in this thing, if you're a real estate professional, if this is your career, if this is what you're going to do, don't let up. Go now harder than you've ever gone before. This is going to be one of those situations where those who are still in place, those who still have a foothold, those who are still top of mind, when we come out on the other end of this, they're going to be rewarded, right? So if you're serious about this industry, if you're serious about this career,
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
show up every day. This isn't a 9 to 5 job. It's a freaking 7 to 9 job. You know, it's 6 days a week, it's 7 days a week sometime. So you just have to grind.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go back to talking about Fusion Home Loans. What would you say sets your company apart from the rest?
You know, it's funny because when we were doing our little like prep before we started recording this thing, we talked about how the mortgage market as a whole is becoming commoditized, right? Like, you know, you've got so many options to go online and click and get a mortgage, right? And sure, that's fine for your 780 credit score buyer who's putting 20% down and his income's all W-2 and his assets are just coming from a savings account. Like I get that. You know, we've always prided ourselves here on the really difficult files, on the files that just go to the brokers or go to the large online lenders and just die because they're going to take too much effort or work or focus and get through it. We've also always really prided ourselves on our reputation within the real estate community. You know, real estate remains, particularly residential real estate, remains very hyper local in any submarket, right? And that's something that we have always dove into, invested into, and made sure that our reputation is absolutely stellar here in our market. And we are entirely, I mean, yeah, we've got some home builders, don't get me wrong. Yes, we have some wealth managers, but we're almost entirely realtor referral based driven. So being within that realtor community here in Orlando is something that's very important to us, and making sure that we're a known quantity to the buyer's agents and the listing agents. So we're helping our realtors get more offers accepted just because the listing agent is well aware of the name on that pre-approval letter and how solid that is. That's something that we've always really focused on as well.
Yeah, that really ties into what you were talking about with networking. Like
Yeah.
it's perfect.
Yeah.
So, Chris, before we wrap up, actually not we're not going to wrap up. I slipped. I wanted to talk about what's next. So what
Yeah.
do you see on the horizon? You just started this company. There's got to be lots of opportunity out there.
Yeah, so we're in growth mode, certainly. We just hired a recruiter in Texas. We're super excited for him to come on board. We're bringing one on board in Maine as well. So we'll start expanding in those markets. Here in Florida, you know, we're very focused on growth along just the I-4 corridor. So call it, you know, starting in Tampa and wrapping all the way up to Jacksonville, up the coast. You know, that's really where we're focused on growing. So we're doing a lot of recruiting here in our local market, here in other state markets, expanding out into other regions, and also growing our team that's here in place today. So we love doing that. We're a place where we like to believe that a $10 million a year loan officer can come to us and we can show them the tools and the tips and the strategies and the technology that it takes to become a $30 million a year loan officer. So we do a lot of that here. We dive into the training, the best practices, again, the systems. So that's it for us. I mean, we're very much in growth mode. We have some very lofty ambitions of where we want to see this company in 5 years, and it's going to take a lot of focused growth to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, what you have going on is So exciting, Chris, and you've got that
Thank
work
you.
ethic to match the vision.
I think it's exciting. I don't know if it's exciting to anyone else. It's very exciting to me and my partner and everyone here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll be cheering you on. All right, before we wrap up, if someone wanted to reach out, connect, or maybe they need help with some lending, what's the best way for them to reach out?
Yeah, so I mean, at some point I'm going to have to stop this, but I still, I mean, my personal cell phone is really a great way to get a hold of me, and that's 321-239-7760. My email is chris@fusionhl, like fusionhomeloans.com. Another great way to get a hold of us is to just go to our social media. Fusion Home Loans is our Instagram page. I'm sure we have a TikTok. I have no clue what it is, but our wonderful social media manager, Daniela, who set this up, I'm sure she has one, Facebook, all of those things. But Fusion Home Loans, that's our Instagram page. Great way to get in touch with us. And you can see all of our loan officers there as well as myself.
Awesome, Chris. Thanks for so much for being on, and keep on doing things the right way, putting relationships first and scaling thoughtfully. We appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Erica. Appreciate your time.
And for those of you tuning in, if you got value from this episode, make sure that you're subscribed to the Real Estate Pro Show. We've got more conversations coming up with operators like Chris Hardiman, who are out there building a fantastic lending and private capital empire. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.